welcome to the Scene Weekly podcast, where two part-time cinematics give their best mid-level takes on all things on screens. This week's episode is focused on the upcoming annual awards season and the Oscars, where we provide those mid-level takes to you. Come join Jonathan and Steven for another week of hopefully less plot chatter and copious more film banter. Hopefully you can hear me, and welcome to our world.
Welcome.
I've had a bit of I don't know what's going on. I don't have a mic in front of me. It's over here. It doesn't work. My camera doesn't work. So we're doing it live. And here we are.
Yeah, you're just basically back into, basically episode 1. You time traveled back to episode 1, and this is the gear that you have. And we're making it work. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, episode 1 had this. I don't know if you recall that. And I was sitting directly there on a desk. I don't know why the desk made sense to me at the time, but that was like 3 episodes. And then from there on out, I've been on the casting couch. Still on the casting couch.
Yeah. You sound great. I'm gonna be positive here. I'm gonna make sure that we're going the positive route. You sound great, Jonathan.
Can you spend $600 to fix the audio on this, please? Just like I've done in the past.
I'll get a guy. I know a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can get him.
I know a guy too, but $600 an episode is probably not the best option for us right now. So how are we doing? Oscar season is among us. Some people think that the Oscars. By the way, why are there so many awards? Like shows
every weekend. There's
it's too much.
There's something. Yeah, like what do we have?
It's like 62 award shows, and I don't know if that includes the Razzies, but that seems like it's like if we don't win one of these, we're going to create our own and then make us win. It just seems outrageous.
And a lot of these actors and actresses and people that are nominated, they go to all of these things. Like this is their full-time job. It's part of the PR campaign and whatnot. But last night we had the SAG Awards, and I actually got to vote on that I didn't vote, but my girlfriend did because she's a member of SAG. But I was there when I was basically putting my weight on the scales and saying, let's pick this guy. Let's go with this one. We made a consensus pick. Some of those came true. So I felt like I had a hand in the awards last night. But other than that, like you have the BAFTA, which is basically the British Oscars. You have the Directors Awards. You have like all of these different bodies, and then you have like all of these different cities that are also like the San Francisco Chronicles giving out awards. The LA Times is giving out the award. It's like it's too much.
I love how the BAFTAs just don't give a shit. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna best Oscar or best BAFTA. Is that what they call it? I don't even know. Goes to our guy, not yours. It was like, where did this come from?
The I Swear controversy. I mean, that's a movie that hasn't even come out in the States yet, so it couldn't be represented in our award season. But it's funny, yeah. BAFTA, the British people are like, it hasn't come out yet, but we're gonna award it the best actor over all these other guys that you've never even seen this movie. So it's crazy.
I haven't seen it, but I have seen like a 5-minute clip, and kind of like Tropic Thunder, you don't go full R, and he doesn't. So that's good. So that's check one. But he does it like Tourette's very well. Also, very timely of award show seasons of Tourette's being prominent.
Well, I mean, you heard the whole thing about that.
It's just like
get into it.
It's just I can't imagine being on stage. And from the sound of it, there was no preparation of people being like, by the way, there's a guy that, this is about that you may want to know. It didn't sound like there was this preparation, which is quite an oversight. Looking back. Oh my God.
I think the biggest controversy with that is that it was not a live event. It was pre-taped, and they decided to keep that little bit in there, which is just programming blunder all around. And then I will also say there was another awards session in France called the Caesar Awards, and the big takeaway from that was somebody got a lifetime achievement, and that somebody was Jim Carrey. And I don't know if you've like seen like the videos of him on the red
Yeah.
carpet, and whether that's Botox or if that's Jim Carrey or people saying it's a clone and stuff like that. But I have my own kind of take on that, and I think we'll see down the line. But Jim Carrey's always been a person that like will go to some kind of Andy Kaufman extremes
Yeah.
to do things at a award show. He's dressed up as like a fog hat and the MTV Movie Awards. I think he was putting on some kind of a character, like an overt character of himself. I think.
The reaction to it is just so extreme, to the extent that I'm like, I don't care. Like, I
No,
don't.
yeah,
I just don't care. Like, just what are we talking about? I don't know. Here we are talking about an award show, and pretty much, in my opinion, I think there should be like three. Maybe like five.
so
Then you get like Buenos Aires. Like you get Cannes.
and maybe the
Cannes could
Golden
be all
Glasses.
of France. The Golden Glasses, and then Shanghai or something like that. Maybe even Australia, and that's it. Just keep it at that. Throw in Antarctica. You know, just documentaries on penguins every year. Yeah, I like the Oscars. I like Cannes, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much. I don't follow anything else. MTV like awards of any capacity. But anyway, we're here, and before we go further, why don't we prep? Why don't you prep us with our categories, and then you can also go into some of our own. I wouldn't go into the details of that, but we have created a fun little get together for y'all
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So this is not the typical. There is a little bit of a balance. There's the typical awards fodder that you would have for those awards that you would typically see at any kind of award show. And then you have our own personalized categories that Jonathan and myself came up with on the fly, and we both diligently agreed on each list. It was very copacetic in that regard. There was no. It was a good time. Let's just say
We
that.
got like a week. I mean, not a week, but like it's like we got to get this done.
Yeah, yeah. Oscars are coming
That's
up.
it.
And it's this is another. I mean, we've been harping on so many award shows. We're having our own award show, but we didn't do a red carpet. We didn't even dress up. Like you're wearing like a Palm Beach zipper up.
Got it from the airport.
It's nice.
Little there was a little chill in the air. Got it from the airport.
A chill in Florida, huh? I guess
Yeah.
that happens. But anyways, our categories are going to be running down like this, and I'll start with the basics: best supporting actress, best supporting actor, best actress, best actor. Very heavy on the performance side. We don't really give a about writing, cinematography, or anything like that. We're talking about the people that you see on screen. Okay. Um, we have the best director and then best picture. And then we get to kind of go into our own fun categories, right? Best opening scene, tastiest treat on screen. I like that one. Most rewatchable 10 minutes, character who deserves a spin-off movie, drip of the year, movie with the most walkouts, the best song or best needle drop in a movie, and a trash film that will actually become a cult classic decades down the future, years to come. So that's the
Yeah,
rundown.
I mean these are fun categories. You can go down like weird rabbit holes of what categories should be, but why don't we get to it? I think the last time we did this, it was like 6 hours,
Yeah, this is
pretty
going to be
much
a little bit
done.
quicker. But I will just also preface this by saying this is any movie that was released last year. It doesn't have to be nominated for an Oscar. It doesn't have to be, in the hunt for another. We don't give a flying fuck about any other awards. This is our version of the Oscars, right?
I mean, the category should be basically whatever you want. So you just drop it on me. You could come out with a movie 3 years ago and make that justification for it to be this year. You don't have to explain it. Don't explain it. Just
Because I
drop.
saw I turned it on and watched it this year or this past year, so that
Yeah,
counts, right?
I
Yeah.
watched.
Okay.
I watched Citizen Kane, Best Picture.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, why don't we get to it? So
Okay.
Oscar season is amongst us. I can't believe this has been going on for 2 years. This actual podcast that we're discussing these things for.
Hmm.
Um, it's strange enough. I think the first year we did this, I just kept uh, going through movies basically and being like, I can't, I can't believe that this is nominated for anything. Like Raz, are we talking about the Razzies? So the fact that we were, the substance was the substance, and Nora winning Best Picture was wild. But anyway, I'm glad that cinema is back. We can talk about it a little more freely without shitting on everything. But Best Supporting Actors, can I go first?
I'd love for you to go first. Yeah.
All right. So Best Supporting Actress. I wonder how they. What was like the first Oscars? I don't even know. Like, what's the first year? 1954, 1944,
No, it was in the. I think it
something
was in
like
the
that.
it was in the 20s.
Of course, we come out with film, and immediately afterwards, you know what? We should have awards for this shit that we just created. Um,
1929. Yeah.
in the first in the what were I wonder what the categories were. Probably these. So Best Supporting Actress. I felt the kind of like the aura, and I as somebody who's followed this sport for a long period of time, since the 90s, and slightly before, if you would include partially the sports that are included in it. But with that being said, it was to a T the best effort I could picture a human being producing in this sport. I'm trying to allude to it to some extent. But with that said, I've heard so many stories, not just necessarily of the person that this film is about, but of the backstory of like women in fighters' lives who just ruin the men who are fighting for a living in MMA. But Emily Blunt, Best Supporting Actress in Smashing Machine, is makes me feel terrible, and she's just acting. Makes me feel terrible for Mark Kerr in the actual movie, who they're played by The Rock, and like to the extent that I am like, you're gonna make him feel terrible for the next day. You're basically making this all about yourself. But I was so believing of her effort there. So she has Best Supporting Actress nod for me.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie, but I know that the performance has been lauded. I don't know. Like, what was your overall thoughts on the film without spoiling too much? If this, I don't want to know if this is your best picture or not. But did you enjoy the story of Mark Kerr overall?
Can we wait?
Okay, well, let's wait. Let's wait.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil
yeah.
anything. But yeah, it's definitely a film that I need to check out. Love Emily Blunt. Great in Oppenheimer and a lot of other things. She's just a heavy hitter. And you know, my best supporting actress. Um, it's one of those that I felt she in this movie just made the movie. Like if she didn't have this performance, the movie wouldn't have been as good to me per se, in my own personal opinion. And the fact that I feel like she would just elevated the movie in so many ways by giving this strange, weird, baffling performance, and that's Amy Madigan as Gladys, Aunt Gladys in Weapons. You don't really see
Did
these movies nominated like for this kind of performance, but I thought she was fantastic.
Weapons. Didn't she win the SAG award?
She did, yeah. She's on pace to maybe pick up the Oscar. You never know. It's still kind of open, but like I said, like the fact that it's one of those actresses that's kind of been out of the limelight for a long time. And I mean, she was what in Field of Dreams, and that's like I think the only thing that I really remember her from. And then she just comes out of nowhere for this kind of performance. First of all, the casting director, like getting Amy Madigan and be like, we want to put you in this role. Great. So that's my pick.
Yeah, yeah. I would say she's the shining light for that movie, which is the best thing I could say about it. I guess I'm gonna go. Why don't you go first for Best Supporting Actor? What do you got?
Best supporting actor. I kind of was waffling in between some of these actors, and there were some really great supporting actor performances, especially in one movie where I felt like there was like a battle between two of these guys. But I have to give it to the one that I think is going to be the most memorable character of probably in the entire film. And he had a little bit more substance to chew on. He was almost similar to almost like a main character in this movie. But that's going to be Lockjaw and Sean Penn. I think he just absolutely killed it. He had the swagger, the walk, the insecurity, and just the he lit up the screen every time he was on it. So that's my pick.
Yeah, he was okay. He did a damn good job. I think leaving the theater, I was like, wow, that's that's pretty much a wrap in terms of like who's gonna even like just get rid of everyone else and have him like nominated 5 or 6 times. Contrary to your pick, which I understand objectively as well. Best supporting actor for me was Jacob E for all he did for Frankenstein and the monster, and I just felt like the amount of energy put into learning Butoh, I think that's how you call it, dance. It's not really a dance, to be honest with you, but the amount of energy and effort that he put into creating a character that has been, I mean, listed in, I mean, it's been displayed in how many other movies? Probably 100, if I had to guess, with Frankenstein. But I thought he deserved that, and regretfully, I don't think he's going to get any nods. Has he gotten any wins so far? Honestly,
He hasn't got. I don't think he's gotten any wins per se, or nothing
yeah.
from major awards. Maybe the Topeka Times give him something. Uh, but you're absolutely correct, and I think that is a standout performance. And it's another one that I think could be like category fraud, where he could have been nominated for best actor, but he got the supporting actor because I mean it's a major role as the monster in this film. So
It's weird. It's weird
yeah,
that it's not Best Actor, but
yeah.
Isaac, I guess, here we are. I'll go first. Best Actress. This might surprise you. Um, this one's a really tough one for me, and it's something I could definitely oscillate on, but it's contingent upon eye-opening performance that didn't necessarily believe or think that was possible from this human being. And so if I had legs, I would kick you. Rose Byrne just
Mm.
absolutely destroyed it. And I watched it again recently. My wife, she didn't like the movie too much, but I loved it. It got to the level of weird that I appreciated, but at the same time, like for example, you don't see the kid the whole movie. I don't know if you know what it's about, but
Mm.
it's um it's a fascinating introspection to the level of anxiety that one person is put under with having a kid that has, issues, health issues, and a father that's away from the home, at least at this moment, and also having home issues for which he has to move into a hotel where ASAP Rocky is part of the hotel staff, if you will. But the anxiety that I got put to me, I was like, my hands are sweating. I'm like, oh my god, like Jesus Christ, like she got put in it. Also, Conan O'Brien just did a lovely job in it. I just felt the pressure of life on me, and it's rare that that actually can happen. And also, again, secondarily, the weirdness was perfect in my view. I liked it.
I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment too much on this film. I want to watch it. I know that it's another one of those it's kind of sad, right? Depressing a little bit.
Yeah.
um,
If you want to be happy, don't watch this.
yeah. I'll put it on a rainy day, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of going in the same sad gear, just a few centuries earlier. And this is a performance that I don't think is going to be any surprise to a lot of people because she's been a tsunami, a force of nature, basically, in this whole award season. From I think from the Oscars to the Topeka Times, she's going to win everything, and she has, and that's going to be Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Another very emotional, to say the least, performance about spoiler alert, but uh, her son dying, and then Shakespeare going off to write a play called Hamlet, and her not really understanding. Uh, I think her name is Anne Hathaway, right? That's Shakespeare's wife,
Yeah.
um, and not understanding what this play is going to be about. And the peak of the movie is when she's, in the Globe Theater, and she sees the play being performed, and it's just emotionally devastating for her to watch these things play out. And she kind of finally understands, like, Shakespeare's his therapy is basically writing these plays to get this out, and then this is very cathartic for her, and you just see all of that play out on stage. And I don't know, it's one of those just beautiful, beautiful performances and beautiful films that there's a reason why she's winning everything. So yeah.
I could see why people say that. I don't agree with it. I felt like she nailed one emotion pretty well, and that was it. It was like sadness she got, and then like there was no other range of emotion for the whole film for her. I didn't really
Well, I
like
mean,
the film generally, but she got sad. It was like, and then she had one look. It was like that was the whole movie.
yeah,
It's like she
yeah.
just looked in the mirror and was like, but she nailed that, and that was it. I was like, is there layers to the sadness, or is it just like pure rock bottom sadness? And it's like, oh, it's just pure rock bottom sadness.
Pure rock bottom
Um,
sadness.
yeah,
It's a hard emotion to get to.
wasn't a film for me. I will say that. Like a lot of people were just like, oh, I felt clean afterwards. I felt like cleansed, and I was like, I felt like I got raped
Oh
after.
my god.
And I didn't feel too good about that. See, we're at 22 minutes and we're like 3 categories in. I told you this is going to be an hour
Yeah.
and a half. So, best actor. This is why I wanted to pause. I'm throwing this for a loop here. Mark Kerr's story is virtually identical to the Smashing Machine documentary from way back in the day, and the backstory to actually like The Rock is ultimately my best actor
Okay.
for this season. And so I'm saying that because, again, going to Rose Byrne, shocking. Like, The Rock is always going to be good in like the Jumanji type efforts, and it's just very surface level acting, and he's going to be a movie star, kind of. I mean, Black Adam didn't do so hot, but with that being said, like I was not expecting him to be good. To be fair, like I didn't think he was going to be good or even remotely good in this role, and he crushed it. Boy, did he! And he got the mannerisms of Mark Kerr down. Not only did he talk like him, look like him, but and I think it goes back to the fact that he works out pretty obsessively. But he got down to a T as somebody who's been there, and you have too. Like if you work super hard, you're exhausted, you sit in a corner against a wall, that face you have where you're just like, I got nothing left. He nailed that. But also like the relationship with Emily Blunt is Mark Kerr. And it's like, again, it probably ties back too much to the actual documentary itself. And by the way, Mark Kerr was in the Up and Up, and it was like the 90s was like he's a smashing machine, hence the name of it. Destroying people in Pride, and they're like, hey, why don't we're going to do a documentary of you. And the day they show up is basically an unwinding of his whole life. So he's like shooting up like steroids galore. He's just like, yeah, have at it. Like film me of whatever you want. And so they film him of whatever he wants. And it's the unraveling of Emily Blunt's character, his like girlfriend or wife at the time, that just devolves. And that's basically what the movie is based on. But The Rock, shocking. Again, I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know what role is going to come that actually he can get super similar to where like exhaustion, fighting, WWE. But he did terrific, unbelievably terrific. And I think I debated this point of like Leo and Marty, and I was just like, I don't know. Like The Rock really surprised me. I should stop now so I don't spend 50 hours doing this.
Yeah, it's interesting to know, and you obviously know the Mark Kerr story a lot better than most, just being a fan of MMA. But um, it's interesting because I feel like MMA got really popular kind of like in the mid 2000s to that's when it kind of hit its peak. But in the 90s, it was a very kind of niche sport, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't widely watched. It wasn't on pay per view. Like if you knew, you knew, and if you knew who Mark Kerr was or the Smashing Machine, like that was a very very big deal. And I don't think they're allowed to openly take steroids now, are they? No, right?
Openly? No, quote unquote openly, no.
Okay, I'm sure they get tested and whatnot, but back maybe in the '90s, it was a little bit more like Wild West. And I really want to watch this film because I want to understand what that kind of was like, and I do like seeing these big name action celebrities dip their toe into some prestige drama, and that's kind of what The Rock is doing here. And although it didn't get the box office that they were looking for, and it's interesting that the Safdie brothers split off and they each had their own film made, and Marty Supreme has gotten a lot more of the awards, but this, I think this might be a gem to look back on in the next few years to see how it does. But anyways, best actor for me. I'll quit vamping because I was going to change my pick, switch things up, throw a curveball, but I had to stick to my guns on the last episode that we talked about, and I got to go Ethan Hawke and his
Mm.
role as Lorenz Hart in Blue Moon. If you want a deep dive into the analysis of all things Lorenz Hart, you can watch the previous episode. But it's just it was eye popping, and it was a performance for the ages. So that's what I'm going for here.
If I actually had any vote of any capacity, I'm voting for Ethan Hawke, just to be
Yeah,
clear. Yeah,
which
yeah.
I
If
did
this
for the SAG Awards. Yeah, but Michael B. Jordan won. So
if you did. It's like my sister went to Harvard and therefore I did too. It's like, what are you talking about? Anyway, best director. This was kind of hard for me in terms of not the choice. Hard for me in the sense of like not giving all of the awards. Best director, I think it's as clear as day. It's Paul PTA. I don't know who else you're going to choose here. You can pick and choose whoever you desire, but you're wrong. PTA is 100% the right choice. And if he doesn't win, I don't know what's going to happen. There should be a riot. But yeah, Mr.
yeah,
Anderson.
um, this is where we both agree on. And I've been on the Instagram feed, the algorithm, and there's this creator that kind of has this little hook, and he says, "Slow down and watch this scene with me." And he does this one where it's really eye opening of like this scene within one battle after another, where it's Leo and Benicio del Toro getting chased by cops in a car, and the idea of PTA, just instead of doing a big chase scene, he just keeps it confined with the camera with them in the car, and that just kind of opens my eyes up to like how creative he can be with these filmmaking techniques and these choices that he makes to make this amazing film and have these kind of like choices and constraints that he does, and it's just brilliant.
There were so many shots that you can really like pick to, especially like the end scene. Um, I don't know why, but I remember when Chase Infinity is getting into the white, what was it, like a Dodge car, basically after
Mhm.
everyone got shot up. Um, she's stealing the car and like the camera is like in the window or like the doors open of the car and the camera, I would assume it's like on in between the window where it's open. And then
Yeah.
she speeds through and the door shuts and it just like captures her like portrait to some extent. I don't know why that stuck with me, but I was like, that's a mean shot right there. But there's like I don't know, 100 of those for him. But the best director, he's gonna win. If he doesn't win again, riot. Why don't you go first? Best picture. I'm sure we're still the same.
uh, yeah, I mean, there was an inclination for me to get cute here, and
Always.
it always is, right? And the only reason that I didn't pick the film that I kind of wanted to be cute with, which was 28 Years Later, is because I actually like the sequel that came out this year slightly better than that one. And that doesn't negate anything, but I am ultimately going with the film that I thought had the best performances, had the best cinematography, had the best set pieces and dialogue and directing, and that's One Battle After Another. So.
We don't talk about cinematography in this. Come on, there's no editing. Right. It's One Battle, and that's it. It's the best picture. Again, I think it's not there. There are third and fourth place, but it's a wrap. It's One Battle.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. And back to reality, our categories. The ones we care about the most. Not the basic bullshit, Steven. And our first one up is opening 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
Yeah.
What do you think here?
This is going to kind of throw a curveball to you, probably.
Would you stop saying this is going to throw a curveball and just say it, and then people could be like, "That's a curveball."
That's a curveball. Yeah. So I was debating between a few, but I really like the choice that they made to open up this iconic character, an iconic movie, and bring him back to the forefront. And that is James Gunn in the newest
Naked Grease. Oh, God.
No, it's James Gunn directing Superman. And if you haven't seen the opening of this film, it's basically a title crawl scrawl with like, this happened 30,000 years ago, and then 3,000 years ago, metahumans were discovered, and then 30 years ago, this meteor crashed on Kansas, whatever. And it basically tells the whole story of Superman in literally 30 seconds. And it ends with him getting beat up and losing his first fight on Earth. And it's just him.
Is that how he got paralyzed?
Yeah, he was like pretty much paralyzed for
Christopher Reeve?
No. That's different. This is a different. Sorry.
Curveball.
That was a horse accident, I believe. But this was the opening scene of Superman, where you don't really see that in superhero movies, especially Superman, making him feel like he can be defeated. And I think that's the ultimate like setup that you need, because he's somebody that can't lose unless you have kryptonite. And I like that they did that with him. So
I don't have kryptonite, but I do have words. And you know what? I haven't seen Superman. I've seen the original Mr. Reeve. My opening scene, this is a tough one, to be honest with you. We created these categories, and I had to go through them, and I'm like, I don't know what to put here. Sentimental value. I had to look back at the openings of many of these movies. What a good opener of mixing like emotion with excitement and pensiveness of like what's actually going to happen. And just stories of an actual house, it's like a literal house. That's how they open the movie, which transitions ultimately into, I think her name is Nora, in a play, a fictitious play. But the emotion that gets set with the music, as well as the just the opening like narration, was tremendous. But I would have to say it's sentimental value for sure.
Okay, I'm basically a really bad movie podcast host because I haven't seen that one either. But that's okay. I will trust your judgment on that, and
you don't have to trust anything.
Okay, I'll verify it. I'll watch the movie and give my own 2 cents later on. But yeah, I do want to watch Sentimental Value. It's nominated for a few Oscars. A couple of actresses in there, and it's Joaquin Trier, who is a great director. Anyways, what do we got next? Tastiest treat on screen. We're going alliteration.
Yeah, the tastiest treat on screen. I have a lot of gay family members, a lot of lesbians in my family, and this one would take the cake, pun intended, of gayest category we have here. So, tastiest treat. I have no idea. I couldn't even remember. There's no way I could actually go back and watch all of these movies, let alone like figure out what's going on. Could say Blue Moon, didn't want to go there, but I'm going to go with Predator because some of those objects and those creatures, they looked pretty tasty. Maybe not appetizing to you, but I would like to try, the flesh of those creatures just to see what they taste like.
Okay, all right. They could be
Yeah.
poisonous. You never know.
They could be, you
Could
know.
shoot you with a dagger. Um, okay, that's interesting. You went off planet here. I stayed I stayed very local into what I like, and I like whiskey. And you said Blue Moon, and that's the route that I went. Is just him describing a little glass and how much joy can be found in that. Even though I know that you're off the is it on the wagon right now. But I enjoy a good little tasty treat of whiskey every now and then, and that's my pick.
Whiskey will make lack of whiskey will make your face get skinny again. But yeah, 3 weeks. Not drinking. I wanted to have a glass of wine last night. 6.5 months is a long time to go without.
That's a long time.
I don't know why I chose to do this to myself, but here we are. 10 minutes has to be, in my view, the 10 minutes of the car chase scene. Or I guess they're a mini, I should be clear. But the ending car chase scene of one battle after another of just undulating hills.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that 10 minutes, just mind-blowing. I've seen it like on its own many times. I've gotten the clip and just watched it over and over. I mean, I could put that on a screensaver and just fall asleep. It's great.
True. Yeah.
No sound and just like watch it. It's so good. But I would say that's my favorite 10 minutes of film this year. Last year.
It's funny. I don't know if we talked about it or not, but like they didn't really even have that in the script until they were like driving around and scouting locations. They were like, this is actually perfect. This is great.
Do you think Brad Pitt found that location?
Brad Pitt, and what?
Rad Pitt, our boy Andrew.
Oh, yes. Mine is actually funny enough, and maybe this is why it's been awarded for Best Picture, but it's also from One Battle After Another, but a different 10 minutes. And it's Leo going into the dojo and then trying to charge his phone, and that whole sequence of him being escorted by, Sensei Bob, and just through the corridors and all the way until the end where he falls down through the tree. That 10 minutes of filming and that scene is just, it's comedy, it's suspense, it's just all those things wrapped in one, and I love it.
The phone, if you take out the phone, that phone and the lack of ability to charge it is just I was just laughing in the theater, probably way too loud, but just brilliant. It was absolutely
universal feeling. Yeah. Everybody knows it. Yeah.
Best spinoff. This was a hard one for me. I was going to get cute, and I didn't. And if anything, this is the most boring and bland representation of any type of category we have today. And I should have gone with something different because there's no preparation for this. I guess there's going to be an Avatar spinoff. This is like,
what?
I feel like this is something that I had an idea of, and then I was like, yeah, this is going to be okay. And then you get on stage and you say it, and you're like, that was a terrible joke.
What character do you want to spin off on Avatar? Don't say Spider. Please don't say Spider.
He is the reason that the last two movies are almost are they unwatchable? They're unwatchable when he's there, and then even the Jar Jar Binks like effect after the movie is over, you're like, wow, those are great visuals, but that goddamn spider character, like, Jesus Christ, terrible. He's got to get one, right? I mean, he's like, after, I don't even remember the 2 movies ago, but after that, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he came back, and I was like, he's even worse. And like half the movie's about him and all the shit that he's doing. And I was like, this is even worse. Fire and Ice. It should be basically freezing him, letting him thaw out, and then burning him to death. That's what the movie should be about. At least the next one. That's what happens. His spinoff.
It'll still make it $2 billion. Just
yeah.
Don't doubt James Cameron. Okay, for me, there was an obvious choice, but in the real world, this character's already planning on getting a spinoff, so I didn't choose it, and that was Amy Madigan as Aunt Gladys. It was going to tell her backstory as a witch, and like throughout the years and centuries of her, being alive and eating, not eating, but feasting off of the youth. And since that's already picked, I went a different route, and I said I'd like a spin-off prequel, and that's of Michelle Fuller. And Michelle Fuller is Emma Stone's character in Begonia, where she is the alien. I don't want to spoil it, but I'd like to see her coming into her own and how she got to be where she is. That'd be good.
That would be fascinating. If you take the other characters out though, yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah.
I was very surprised that some of the cat, like I like Jesse Plemons, but it was very strange for just his friend or brother or whatever that he kind of dragged
He's
along.
perfect. What do you mean?
No, I know it's just very like a very
surprising.
very surprising choice. Yeah, because this movie was based on a Korean film that I had not seen, and I'm wondering if they kind of had that same kind of like character casting, or was this completely original?
Yeah, I don't know. And boy, best drip. It's got to go to the Sinners. All of the Sinners, pretty much. I mean, you could say the Frankenstein cast here had some nice drip, but I have to go with the Sinners. They were really ticked and tied in terms of that attire. I mean, they look lovely. Like everyone, basically. I love period pieces of any kind.
Yeah.
Can you say a period piece includes the 80s?
Yeah, I think so. Now you can.
It's like I feel like it's like 40 plus years ago. But anyway, I think Sinners. It's just impeccably dressed.
Did you ever stick around to the post-credit scene where they're in the 90s?
No.
Oh God! The drip gets even better.
Does it really?
Oh yeah.
The 90s.
You got to watch that bonus scene. It's great. Anyways, I will say, and I went with just a singular drip outfit, and I went with Sensei Bob and Benicio del Toro. He's wearing his karate pants and like a jean jacket and a black T-shirt, and he just looks like he says, ocean waves, super chill, ready to go. Have you ever worn your gi out, like just the pants, out and about?
3 days a week, every day, every week. Yeah.
Oh, you don't change at the dojo?
No.
Okay, all right.
Even if it was 21 degrees this morning. I woke up. I left at 5:48 a.m. You know what I wore? You know what I wore? Now I think about this. I don't even think about it because I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I walk out in my gi, also in my sandals, with my belt tied as well. So like my neighbors, they probably think I'm a psychopath. Actually, the people at the gym think I'm kind of crazy because they're like, you're just dressed like it's 8 degrees outside. And now I've done it so like for 2 years in a row, 2.5. I'm just like, well, I can't not show up.
Yeah.
I like this. So yeah. And then when I was drinking beer, after practice, I don't know, after the hour, I would go and pick up, 212s of Allagash White, just belt tied, stroll in. What's going on? Sweating, still on the gi, just wiping it off like this. How you doing?
I'm basically giving you a great compliment here, saying about Benicio del Toro's drip, and apparently you've got it too. You already know.
I mean, he's Benicio, like he's also good. Also, you could take the nod for best supporting actor for him. By the way,
yeah, I agree.
Terrific. What do you got next?
A movie with the most walkouts.
Yeah.
So I think what we've talked about in your character who deserves a spinoff, I think when people realize that this movie, Avatar: Fire and Ash, is all about Spider and his he's not even a hero, but his journey. Visuals aside, like the visuals are great, but like the choice of making him that, and then it's 3 hours long. I could see people being like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna go get some popcorn," and then they just like fucking walk out and go to the nearest bar down the street, because it's just one of those movies that just, yeah,
I will reiterate it. I think I don't think I said it on the podcast, but I definitely texted it to you that pretty much all of the Avatar movies are you're dating or married, not married. Let's say you're dating a 10 and she is just extremely attractive. And there's a lot that you could put up with. And she's got just this crazy emotional side to her and you fight all the time, but you're like, fuck that bitch. And then she's a 10 and you're like, yeah, well, that's Avatar. The visuals are fantastic and the story is like, god damn it, I just have to get through the story to the next visual. What does Cameron come up with next? But I will say I think it's gotten to the point where I'll probably watch the next one. Maybe I actually have to see it. If Spider's involved, I may not actually, legitimately.
yeah,
But this one was rough, like rough. Where it's like, okay, they're cool visuals. Let's move on with our lives. Like, what are we talking about? You're a one trick pony, Mr. Cameron. You fucking made Terminator. What are you talking about? What are we doing
do something
here?
else. Do something else,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I know. I understand. $1 billion guaranteed. Great. Anyway, my I was very angry after I watched this movie at you specifically, and I think the recommendation was heated by me in the sense that I think this is one of the worst movies of the year, and I can't believe why anyone would like it, and that's Bone Temple. And I hated the last one, 28 years later. And outside of the first movie of any of the entirety of this, whatever you want to call it, a horrible boil conundrum of dog shit. This one is just so terrible, as well as the previous. The previous one uh, was probably worse, to be fair. It didn't make any sense. It was not riveting of any capacity. I did not care about it. In this one, it was just continuance of that. So I actually probably would have walked out of Bone Temple. Like actually, and I may have walked out of Avatar for the length of it, but I may have gone to walk out. And I mean like leaving the theater, walking out. I may have in Avatar gone to get popcorn, as you say.
You would have missed the best part with Rick Fiennes doing his devil dance. That's on
God.
you, though. That's on you.
Yeah, it's my
Um,
opinion.
yeah, and that movie came out this year, but I see you're making the case for
Oh,
whatever you want.
it's for any year. Any year, it's terrible.
That's where we're divided because I wait I have already given my thoughts on this, but I thought it was a upper echelon movie. Anyways, let's go to uh, the best song slash needle drop. How about
I
you go
mean,
first?
this is one and done, and it's K-pop Demon Hunters Golden. I mean, what else? What else we got here? What are you talking about? Wait, have you seen it?
I've seen 10 minutes of that movie.
Oh my god, I've seen it like 10 times. It's
I,
unfortunate. It's
I have
it.
not
That's
I haven't heard the song.
you haven't heard the song. Where have you
No,
been?
no. Uh, I have not found it on Spotify and hit play. That's it. So I don't listen to the radio. Is it on the
You have a
radio? I don't even know.
you have a teeny bopper for a girlfriend.
No, she's not a teeny bopper. It's not in K-pop. But maybe I'll give K-pop a chance. It seems like an interesting concept where I guess K-pop.
We're going up, up, up. Do you know the story behind the actual song and the person that wrote it?
I had no idea.
She was basically ostracized and couldn't find a footing in either K-pop or movies or anything, and so she just decided to write this movie and this song on her own, and eventually got some backing. And the lyrics are literally about her life going up, 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 and basically being ostracized and being unsuccessful. So it's a bit emotional. And my daughter, 10 times, I wouldn't say is necessarily the 10th time was my doing, but I happened to see it this past week again for the 10th time. But it's a needle drop, absolutely. It's the best
Okay.
song, best Grammy, best Oscar for the. Yeah, it's got all the awards. Come on.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I got to give it a shot. I know that it's reached the zeitgeist of culture and it's a big thing. So mine's a little different. And the one that I enjoyed the most, the one that I just like, uh, it gave me some chills in the theater when watching it, was that scene in Sinners, and it's the Irish song. It's the Rocky Road to Dublin, and it's this like, I love how Ryan Coogler does this dichotomy of like soul music, and he brings it also with Irish music, and that scene of them dancing and Jack O'Connell singing the Rocky Road to Dublin. It was the best part of the movie for me.
A lot of people thought that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty good. Um, Trash film. This is a kind of weird category. I was kind of confused by this. This is your category. Trash film.
Yeah.
Is this and or a cult classic, or is this you had to do both? Because I did
No,
both.
I'm thinking of more of like a film that came out this year that got pretty much not good reviews, or didn't get a good box office, or was underseen, or that you might thought was trash.
Um,
That'll be a cult classic later on down the road.
well, I can do terrible film that I think is a cult classic and probably will be a cult classic in the future.
Yeah, that's kind
So
of the idea that I wanted.
oh, that's Weapons to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought that the movie was garbage. Didn't like it. But I think a lot of people like it, like yourself, and or like a small portion of idiots around this country really appreciated
For me, I think I was gonna go the route of Mickey 17, because I think it's gonna be like down the road, like a sci-fi kind of like staple. People are gonna discover it, in 20, 30 years, by going through the director's filmography. But I didn't want to pick that, because it didn't get any award nods. It came out in March, like a month before Sinners, and um, the director of Parasite not getting anything from this movie is just kind of wild to me. But I did a trash film, a film that was underseen, that didn't get the greatest reviews,
it.
and it's
Avatar.
no, it's Spinal
Oh.
Tap: The End Continues, and I think it's going to be. Even Rob Reiner said it at his Q&A. He's like, Spinal Tap came out and it wasn't very widely seen, and it kind of, over the years, it got on VHS and it built this cult classic. And I think he has an idea that this is going to do it too. It may not, but it could.
Don't preface that. Just say it is gonna
It's
do.
going to do it. These old rockers, Nigel Tufnell and all the guys getting back together for one last show was really enjoyable.
I do know. Yeah, we had 8
Yeah.
categories to the Oscars 6. We're
Ours are more important.
Nobody's staying this long anyway.
Well,
But that's
we also cut out like literally 10 minutes before we like no cinematography, no editing, no writing. We were like, we're done. We're not doing that.
I mean, I think those are all good categories, but in terms of talking about them, I mean, the writing I would give to Blue Moon. How about that?
Yeah, Train Dreams, maybe cinematography.
No.
People,
Man,
people
Train
like
Dreams.
it.
Of any movie that I have seen, uh, of 2025, Oscar nominated or not, or otherwise, I don't know what to do with Train Dreams. I
The
still don't know.
voiceover narration of the somberness of it, but then like in the first 10 minutes, some guy gets brutally killed.
Dude, I texted you.
I know.
I texted you, and I think this is when I was drinking when I watched it, and I was like, I don't know, probably had a couple bottles of wine, and I was like, did that happen? Like, and then the way it was like leading up to it was like, just pick this dude up. Let's just walk over to this place and just throw him. And I was like, wait, am I picturing this? Did that just happen? Spoiler alert. Did that just happen? And then it just like
It did.
cut and then like life goes like immediately life goes on. I was like, what is happening right now? I was laughing out loud, and then you said you laughed out loud too. I don't.
I don't think it was meant to be that read that way though. So
I did not get with that movie. Yeah, and I can't even hate on it. It was just like confusing as to why this is even a movie. To be honest, like this is the most bland. I, I would never recommend that movie to anyone.
no, no, no. I fell
Yeah.
asleep three times. And I think I tried watching it twice. So I don't even say hey Google play rain noise. I say hey Google play train dreams.
Yeah.
It's just there. Fall asleep.
What like determination you had to be like the second time I fall asleep, but this third time, and then you fall asleep again, and then you went back?
Yeah, yeah. I had to see him get in the airplane. I just had to.
Dude.
There was a billboard in LA with Joel Edgerton train dreams in an airplane, and I was like, when does this happen?
It doesn't even happen, right? They're just like putting it there.
Yeah.
It's honestly that's one of the weirder movies I've ever seen. Where it's like I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I don't think it's a good movie. I don't also think it's a bad movie. I just think it's like a movie, and like it just doesn't feel. I don't know. It didn't move me in any way.
I will say I wanted more William H. Macy as the old guy
Yeah,
in the he was good. That was like
you
the
could say
one.
that. You could say that about any William H Macy flick, though.
That's true.
But that's what we got. And until next
Yeah.
year, we could do this every single week. We're like, oh, the BAFTA goes to.
God.
What
All
do we
right.
have next week? What are we doing?
Uh, do you have a microphone next week, or is this the setup?
I'm gonna have to figure this out. I have no idea. I may have to use a new computer. But with that being said, we'll figure it out.
You know what I watched for the first time in a long time. I think
No,
it was probably for the first time. And I would like to maybe do an episode on this. Was uh, Kevin Smith's Dogma? I watched that the other day.
but you don't like Kevin Smith, I thought.
Oh, I have grown to like him and
Oh,
appreciate his movies. Yeah, yeah,
big fan, huge fan of Kevin Smith. Dogma is fantastic. The cast is insane. First of all,
yeah.
um, speaking of things that I have recently seen, I wanted to watch something that was uplifting that I've seen 100 times before. Not 100 times, but I've seen many times before. And so I watched A New Hope, Star Wars Episode
Ah,
4, and then I was like, "Wow, this rips!" And then I was like, "Let's just keep this going, right?" Empire Strikes Back. What is going on? And then I'm on actually Return of the Jedi, and like I don't know. I watch half of it in one day, and then the next half the next. So it's taken like a week to get through these. But what a what like is that the original trilogy? Is
that's
that
I
like
think that's
the original like quantifiable? Not like I mean, what other trilogy was there before that?
you had the spaghetti western trilogy. I think that was it.
Fair, that's fair. That's a good point. I mean, this is like the spaghetti western trilogy, while having the same main character, is like it's different in my
It's
view.
different. Yeah,
It's different.
yeah.
Whereas like these are like all the same characters basically.
It's a saga, and
They, do you know what I appreciate from the 70s? And just and after watching so many movies from like 2025 and recently, and for example, The Rip on like which is
Mhm.
a top tier like airplane movie, keywords. Um, I don't like movies nowadays that just repeat things in the middle of the movie. Unlike somebody who's looking at their phone, for example, and like they've missed something and they're going to just repeat what's happened previously. I'm like, this is so dumb. Like, why are we doing this? But like, you go back to Star Wars and just start from the beginning.
Mhm.
Shit doesn't really happen like frequently or often. There's no reminders, but it's this slow character development. But once you get like halfway through the movie, you're like, I know everyone intimately, like they're my best friends. It's so refreshing to see that, and I wish we can get back to that, and people could put their phones down, and TikTok wasn't such a big thing. But here we are. Watch us on TikTok, guys. as we'll clip some of these and you can have our best 10-minute sections of film with Drip.
Until next time.
Goodbye.